Hello and welcome again to The Ace Talk Show. Our topic today is about the post that was on the Runescape homepage, the vote for the old Wildy to come back and also the free trade or trading without a limit. And today with me I have for a guest.
Hey everyone, I'm Mrsafealot and my combat level is 132. And Mrsafealot's combat level is 97. He's a berserker pure. And welcome everyone.
So now your main players or your main interest on the game is what do you do? Do you do a lot of PKing? Do you do a lot of skills?
Well, on my main I don't play anymore so much. It's free to play, and I'm more interested in skilling and doing stuff like that on my pure. I'm 45 defense as per Berserker Pure, and yeah, I mainly just try to get it better and everything connected to that.
Yeah. Alright, that gives us a little bit background on you. Well, how long you been playing RuneScape?
Well, approximately 7 to 8 years, something in that range.
So you've been playing since Classic, basically?
Yeah. I was a noob back then, though.
Well, we all started off that way, so
Yeah.
We all start off that way, and then we get to call the beginner players noobs ourselves.
Yeah.
What goes around comes around type thing. Well, I usually don't. I usually try to help the newer players out. But so we both basically are veteran players that understand the changes for the Wildy the way it was, the trade limit the way it was, and what this new vote is for compared to the way the wild is now and the trade is now. I mean, what do you think about the wild? Do you think it's best the way it is, having the PK worlds and the bounty hunter, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it will change a lot when the old wilderness comes back. I think a lot of people will start playing again, and the prices will change drastically. I think all the foods and potions, everything will be bought out, so people will start merching probably again. And but I think it's good.
So
you get new players and stuff like that.
You actually think it's going to come back then, instead of it being some people have posted that it's nothing but a hoax? They're going for a Guinness Book World Record for the most votes for an update.
Well, everything's possible, but if it does come back, well, it's gonna change a lot in RuneScape. It's gonna be one of the most epic days.
Now, you know about all the bots and that we had back then, about the real world trading, and they were using the Wildy to basically do a death trade to transfer items and stuff like that. Do you think that's going to become a big problem like it was?
Yeah, well, as they said in the thread, they have methods of removing that from the game, but I think if they do bring it back, it won't be the same as it used to be. I think they have some limitations to prevent that.
Yeah, I was wondering myself, what are they gonna do with all the new items they created for the PK and well, I guess the bounty hunter? They could keep the bounty hunter world and have those the Vestas and stuff like that items. But do you think they would stay, or as far as all the old Wildy, whatever you were carrying is what you got? Yeah, a death drop. Now, do you think they would leave some of those items in to be included with that type of drop, or would they maybe keep a bounty hunting world?
Yeah, I think they'll keep both, because well, some people prefer the bounty hunter, and some people prefer the old wilderness. So I think they'll find a golden midway.
Yeah, they might.
So, yeah,
they might. Well, I myself don't think that if they did bring back the old Wildy, they're still going to have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
It's going to be really difficult. Granted, they have programs or whatever to catch, but this is like an open invite for people to do more real world trading and try to abuse the game even more.
Yeah, well, I suppose if that update brings back players to RuneScape, I think that's the main cause why they would do it, to bring more players and more profit, and that also leads to more updates and development.
Yeah.
So in some ways it's good, in other ways it's bad. It has its ups and downs.
Yeah. Now, what about the trade limit? Do you think it'll actually make it through with the possibility of the Wildy coming back? And would it be a good thing? Would it be a bad thing?
Now that will also change a lot in RuneScape, since there's really no point in junk anymore. And there's like, right now with the Juju methods and everything, people have like millions and millions of junk. And I don't know, it's gonna be something huge when it does change. And I have really no idea what will actually come when it comes.
Do you think a lot of players are going to end up being pissed off about it? A lot of rants on forums and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, most likely. The higher players, veterans, most likely. But the lower level players, the newbie players, I don't think they mind. I think they'll like it.
Yeah, I do miss a lot of things of the old days back 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
In the game, and yeah, I missed the rush of going out in the Wildy just trying to do a clue scroll, and then end up having a player jump you basically while you're just trying to do a clue scroll. Compared to now, you got the relevance. I don't know if they'd keep them. I mean, would you have PKers on top of the relevance? That would be, I don't know, that'd be kind of quite hard to even do a clue scroll then.
Yeah, it sure would. Well, I think whatever they come up with, it's gonna be interesting to wait. And when it comes, it will be awesome.
Now, what if we find out later on, or even if it doesn't make an update? Do you think a lot of people are going to be ticked off for kind of like a tease, saying that, yeah, no matter how many votes we got, we're still never going to have enough votes, you're never going to get Wildy back? Or
yeah, definitely. Because right now we have like how many, 700,000 votes already, and I don't know, if that really doesn't bring Wilderness back, then what will?
I'm going to bring up the page right now to see what the vote count is. The vote count right now, I mean, if everybody wants to support this, one of the best ways you can do to support this is click I wish to remain anonymous, and then just click yes. Vote yes, and keep doing that, and that'll just ring up the votes left and right, because you're not being registered, you're being anonymous. So you don't even have to have a RuneScape name to support it. Right now, the voting is almost 1 million. Right now we're at, as I'm looking at my screen, 988,270 while we're doing the show here. I just reloaded it again. It just went up basically another 100, 200 votes. It's almost going up 100 votes every time I reload the screen.
Yeah, and it's constantly like that.
So
I think the voting thing isn't quite right, because even if anonymous voting, as you said, even if you could only vote only once like that, people still can for example, use the high scores to use the names and create bots for it to vote and everything. So I don't know if it's quite fair,
Yeah, that's why a lot of people are saying that no matter how many votes that are registered or how many votes players do click, if it's one person, doing like I just said, clicking the remain anonymous and then vote yes, I mean, you can vote 1,000 times yourself, and there's not really a guideline to say, okay, that's a one player doing it all the time unless they're reading your information, or is it actually players?
Yeah.
So that kind of gives us all a little shady as far as they probably don't even plan to do this at all. I don't know, it's kind of hard to say.
Well, if it is a joke or something, trying for a Guinness record attempt or something, people are gonna be mad.
Yeah, do you think if they were actually going for a world record for an update vote, would it be better if they actually told everybody to vote on this content because they're going for it? Do you think they would actually get a better response as far as votes and ability to hit that record?
No, I don't really think so. Guinness record is, well, it's not that much of an interest to everyone, but the old wilderness and free trade, well, basically every player wants it, so they vote with all of their accounts, all their efforts, everything like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, it's always a hot topic. Right now,
Yeah.
of course, it's a flaming hot topic because of the vote. There's always going to be the 50-50, I believe. That's when I think updates are done right. When you have half the players that agree with the update and like the update, and when you have the other half that disagrees.
Yeah. And there's always the few players that are neutral with it, don't really care. So yeah.
Yeah, just like myself. I mean, whatever is done to the game, I'm going to stick around and stick it out and just do whatever I can do, however I want to do it. You know.
Yeah. I don't really find a reason to quit because for an update or something. It's not when you really like change your account, spend like days and weeks on it and months, and I don't really find a reason to quit for one single update.
Now here's one thought that would actually make it probably a lot better if they did decide to do this bring back the old Wildy and bring back the old trade. Do you think that if they made, like if you logged in, whether you're free to play or members, anyone with an account, if they made it when you logged in for you to have to read through their terms and conditions again, their terms of service, TOS, make sure everybody agrees to their terms. Would that help maybe get rid of some of the botters and some of the real world traders on top of it? Because everyone would have to understand again that they can get banned whether they're a member or not because of the term of service.
Well, I don't think that really change anything because most people just skip through that terms and press accept or anything, and I don't think it would change much if they would have that option.
So you think players would do like they do when they first make an account? They just skip through the rules or don't even read it and don't really care.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But if they would have like a reminder or something like that, and something to set examples of how people get banned. For I think it was a half a year ago. I don't remember exactly, but they had some high-level players banned for botting, and they put a thread up on the homepage, and that gave an example for people, and I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's one thing I always thought too, that if they actually say why they did an update. One of my other talk shows, I actually have the topic Players at Fault. Some of these updates were definitely made because players are basically abusing the game. They're abusing the whole aspects of what it's supposed to be. I mean, even now you have things like the Great Orb Project, people doing 50-50 games, which is not what the mini game was meant to be.
Yeah.
And then you got the bots, of course, and the free trade was removed for certain reasons. The old Wildy was removed for certain reasons, and there's always going to be a reason why if players don't actually play the game like it's meant to be played. I mean, the game's meant to be hard. At least I thought so.
Yeah, well, they make it easier every month or so. The fast XP methods, mini games, everything, distractions, diversions.
Now, is that a good thing for the game? Do you think that's better, or is that ruining it for us veteran players?
Well, yeah, it kind of is ruining it for us, the old ways, everything was so hard. It was hard to even gain one level, but now you can get 99 in a matter of days in practically, every skill. And Yeah, I find it a little bit, how do I say it, offensive or something, but their main idea is to gain new players, I think, and when it's like easy for them to, you know, level up and get more fame and everything connected to that, it just, it's better for Jagex, kind of, makes more money, you know.
Yeah, it's more money for them right off the bat with new players coming in and being able to get their
Level up
levels
fast.
quicker. But
Yeah,
that-
because when the lower level players, you know, when they stay low level and they get bored pretty fast. But when they have like opportunities to level up fast and gain stuff, they like stick to it, and RuneScape profits from it.
well, then that I guess enlightens the question: why did we both stick to the game if it was so hard? You know,
True.
Why did you stick to the game?
Well, back then there wasn't really, you know, much other option, and you know, it was fun. We had friends in here. It's half of the game's idea is, you know, communication, talking to friends, helping each other, everything like that. So even if they ruin the game, we still have each other and the society.
Yeah, like the clan chats and stuff like that, which was an excellent update.
Yeah.
You know, myself, I stuck with the game because of family. I've said this in previous videos. I always enjoy the aspect of being able to chat to people worldwide, and basically have a chat room with the games I'm doing just to waste some time.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really care how hard it was. I mean, that was the whole challenge of the game, is it was harder than these run-of-the-mill games that you can just jump into and, you know, be a high level right off the bat. I mean, go to a private server of RuneScape if you want that. I mean, granted, it'll be shut down eventually because it's copyright, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
my skill itself, if people out there don't know, I'm agility. Agility to me was the hardest pain in the butt skill in members to do because there is no easy way out. You either do it or you don't.
yeah, but now there's, you know, agility horns, everything like that,
Well,
which boosts XP and everything.
Well, you got
brawling gloves.
Yeah, you got the brawling gloves, which you can do out in the wilderness area, and then you have the advanced. But still, you have to be there at your screen playing it. You can't do bot, basically. You can't use a macro program to do agility.
Yeah. True.
So, I mean, that I guess that's probably why you went to skills instead of combat too, is because you're more active in the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's more to do fire skilling instead of just regular combat, because that brings up another kind of topic. What would you do if they actually made combat more interactive?
I think people will stick with it. Right now, combat is like the main thing. People use the skill way more often, and they had like you know, the total level used to be like how do I say it, holy for some people. But now you just see people maxed out with, you know, melee skills, attack, strength, and defense, and the rest are totally nothing. So yeah, you know, leveling the total level is kinda not a purpose for people anymore. So I don't know. I think they should work on that a little bit. And now the wilderness even more brings out the combat style, and I don't know if it's good or bad.
Yeah, that's another thing to look at, as you're mentioning total level. Now, if they drop the trade limit and bring back the old Wildy, what's what's to stop players from drop trading like they used to, or even utilizing their friends to get GP to max out their level really fast?
Yeah, well, I personally don't have any clue how they're gonna stop it, but
But
I think they will figure out a way, because I don't think if the free trade comes back, I don't think it'll be totally limitless, you know.
Do you think they'll still have some sort of way to basically track who's abusing that right, basically?
Yeah, I think so. Because think of item scamming, you know. For example, when there still wasn't Grand Exchange and everything, people would make something like, you know, selling selling dragon bones or something, and they would right before you press accept, they would change them to normal bones, and if they would bring trade back, the same thing would be on again.
Yeah, I remember one scam that was really big just before the trade limit, the balanced trade limit thing was released to the game, and that was people were taking and selling mage logs, but they would tell you to meet them on a different server, like the German server or whatever, and you couldn't tell the difference if you didn't know that language. And without a balance, you know, a trade balance there, you would not have a clue what happened. You don't see that little, you know, price thing at the bottom saying, well, wait a minute, it's supposed to be worth this much, and you just switched me out with this.
Yeah. Well, I think if they do take off the, you know, trade limit thing, they will still have some precautions for it. So you wouldn't, like, you know, accidentally accept something stupid and regret it later, you know, scamming as such.
It all, I guess, comes down to, well, let's say the maturity level of the players, knowing what to give for an item, and not being, you know, immature to say to the point that, you know, I want this much and you're not going to get it for any less type deal.
Yeah. Well, I think the trade limit thing was even pretty good, especially for low-level players, because when people don't know RuneScape, you know, that much yet, and they don't know the value of some items, the trade limit still wouldn't let them be, you know, somehow scammed or something. When they take it off, it's gonna be, you know, a massacre.
Well, I think they'll keep the price thing at the bottom, but you'll still be able to just switch it back to the old ways, except for it'll have the price of what the item's worth on the window yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that'll still be a good thing. It's just the scamming that's still going to happen with players, you know, wanting so much for an item because the other player wants it now, compared to waiting for the GE or whatnot.
But what do you think will happen to Grand Exchange?
The Grand Exchange, well, I got a couple opinions about that one. Now, you know, I think that was completely good as far as what they've done with it. However, I also think it's bad. There's some screw-ups with that. But if they do what this whole, you know, show is about, this vote for wilderness and that, I think prices will probably go down. They'll probably crash, because friends are going to be giving away items to other friends that would normally have to buy them. I mean, you're talking about the AGS sword. You know, well, the AGS, everybody knows that that's one of the most expensive god swords there are. And if you're able to pretty much give it away without having junk or nothing like that, you know, if you can just plain old give it to your friend for free, then that player no longer has to find a way to make a little bit of, you know, GP to buy it, or even to get the junk to get it.
Yeah, it's gonna change a lot. It's gonna make things way more easier for some people. For example, if you know, one high-level player is really rich, and he gives it to, let's say, a friend, gives him some of it, and the other one, you know, when you have the starting money, you can make more money, and I think that will ruin RuneScape, because it will, how do I say, it will produce so much extra GP into the game that prices will change dramatically, or whatever.
And the only other balancer I see that would help try to keep things even would be you would have a whole bunch of players, what you call buying their levels then. Because everybody's going to have the extra GP because friends are going to be giving friends, you know, GP or some of the items that they know they would normally buy, that they would have to, you know, they would turn around and use that extra GP to buy Frost Dragon Bones or Oak Planks or whatever raw material they need.
Yeah.
So we should basically, if it does make the game as far as, you know, an update, we would probably expect a whole bunch of players to be getting 99s left and right.
Yeah, so
Probably even maxing out with 200 million experience left and right.
Yeah, it could be.
I think
the skill games are gonna be, you know, not so rare anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Then even then, I myself think that would kind of ruin the game for some of the players out there. Well, kind of like myself, because I've always stuck with the old, when I started back 2000 or late 2004, you know, 2005. You had to get everything, or stand there and try to buy, you know, typing out, buying this, buying this, buying this.
Yeah.
You know, you actually put effort into getting what you had, instead of the GE to where you can buy all the raw materials you want to get your level.
Yeah, it used to be hard labor to get something 99.
And yeah, it's not respected anymore, not the way it used to be. And then if this update, if the votes are made and the update does make it, I think it's going to be one big downfall.
Well, I think they will definitely have some methods to, you know, keep it from crashing, and I think our speculations are, you know, will stay just speculations. So whatever happens, it'll be something different, and I think it'll be, well, I don't know. It's gonna be exciting when it comes.
When and if it comes, we'll see what the whole outcome is. If it's a hoax, if it's just for a record set thing, or whatnot. But yeah, like you said though, it's only our points of view, our opinions here, coming from basically two veteran players. Sounds like, of course, you're more pro for it to come. I'm kind of more not wanting it to come because I like the way it's set up now.
Well, yeah, I'm basically neutral. I don't really care that much for the PKing, and the trade limit, I think it's good the way it is, but, well, if it comes, I'm still, you know, excited to see what happens.
Yeah,
to RuneScape generally.
Yeah, like I said, no matter what they do to this game, I'm gonna stick with it and just hammer it out, basically.
Yeah.
Well, I think that'll wrap up the show. Thanks again for joining me on this show.
And thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure.
And for all you listeners out there, don't forget to check out Mrsafealot's channel and videos. I'll put a link in the description and also on the video. Make sure you subscribe, comment, rate. Thanks again all for listening on in. Until next time, have fun and good luck.
Bye.